Hey there, Lala here. Okay, red light therapy lovers, I am on my third red light therapy setup now. My initial setup was so versatile, I was able to take it from a wall mount to a mobile stand, and my latest setup is my red light therapy bed, so a horizontal version. Since those first two videos were so detailed, I don't need to go into too much detail here. At the end of this video, I will explain what you have to do to take it to this. Okay, I know what you're thinking. That bed is not DIY. Nope, it isn't. But just give me a second, it's coming. There's a reason why I'm showing you this one first. I was sitting here in my video room doing something one day, not filming, and I actually have my lights mounted on a grid system from the very beginning. I don't like things on the floor, so I have one of those grid walls and I have a big LED light hanging from there. My two soft boxes are hanging from it. I think I have an old picture. I'm going to try and insert it here. I hadn't even moved my camera equipment back in yet, so I must have just finished hanging the grid wall panel. Anyway, the grid wall panel is mounted to the ceiling with super struts. So I added super struts to my ceiling in the closet, and I just hung the panels with chains, and it worked out perfectly. When I was trying to decide how I wanted to make this setup, I knew there were motorized stands out there, but they're not meant to hold a setup like mine. And the more I thought about it, it really wasn't exactly what I wanted. Almost nothing is exactly what I want, so I'm forever, coming up with my own ideas for things, and I do love a project. My husband hates projects. He hates projects so much, he doesn't even like me to have projects. So he wanted me to get the adjustable stand. Once I explained to him what I was gonna do, he goes, "Can't you just buy this? Do you have to go and make something?" As you can see, I bought a massage bed. I was swayed by the fact that it was a screaming deal because it was a going out of business quick sale, and because my husband said he was willing to pick it up right away, so I'd be able to use my red light bed that very night. But I have more of a DIY version that I kind of wish I had done instead of what I did. I have this sit-stand desk in my video room, and I used it to test out my idea, which really helped me figure out what I needed to look for in a used sit-stand desk. The main nice thing about having that adjustable sit-stand desk, the ones I was looking at had, the two pedestal kind of legs coming down on either side, and it was open in the middle. And I wanted these little storage cabinets that I have in my closet, these little storage drawers. I wanted to put those underneath. So going with this massage bed, I've lost that storage space. So that's kind of a bummer. The bed's really nice. It was super cheap because it was a place that was going out of business and they were selling all their beds. So it's actually a really nice bed, but I still think I would have preferred the desk, and that would have been way cheaper. Had I gone the adjustable desk route, this is what I would have been looking for. Number one, I decided I wanted a minimum weight capacity of 250 pounds. Number two, I wanted double cross beams in the center just for really good support. Number three, the control, which I was going to detach, to have two preset height buttons. Number four, that the width and height were adjustable to what I was looking for. Number five, that these supports were pretty wide because some of them are very skimpy. Number six, I wanted square, sturdy legs. Number seven, the feet need to be really long and sturdy. I wanted at least 28 inches because that's the size of the ones that I did all my testing on. And finally, number eight, no crossbar here because that's where my storage was gonna go. I was looking for one with really messed up tops so I could get it for super cheap, and I found several, and I found one that held, I think, 600 pounds. There was one that was a steel case base, and I thought that was going to be perfect. I'm not sure if that was the 600-pound one. Anyway, all that to say, I think probably the better option would have been to buy a sit-stand desk. Super simple. You cut a piece of plywood the width and length that you want, screw it down to the original tabletop, add a thick piece of foam over that that's about an inch wider all the way around so you'll have cushy edges, cover it in vinyl, pull it really tight, and staple gun it all the way around. And then the best part, get your storage drawers under there. Come on now, this would have been such a fun project. That would have been nice, and I would have liked that better. But the way I did it is fine too. And maybe, if you feel like you don't like that kind of project, look for a used massage table. I was going to be able to get the sit-stand desk for like $100. Even the steel case one, that one was a little more expensive. I think it was $150, but the top was in good condition. That didn't matter to me though. but I did think getting steel case, it might be super strong, and that's a good brand. So, but you know, as long as it holds your weight, it's going to be fine. I would have liked making it myself. I didn't need my husband's help, so I don't know what his problem was. Actually, I do know what his problem was. There's always something I'm going to need his help with. Like this, for example, there was no way I was going to be able to hold this grid wall with those panels up and get it attached to the ceiling. You can't just like attach one and have the thing hanging down. So I actually had to wait for my son to be in town, and him and my husband together. It's going to take two guys to hang this. Not to do the whole setup and attach it. That's easy. I've taken down and set up my wall version and my mobile stand version multiple times to make it for myself and to shoot and reshoot the videos. But for this, I don't see myself ever changing it back, but you could if you wanted to. It would be super easy if you had someone to help you take it down to put it right back on the mobile stand. Anyway, it took my husband and my son just a couple of minutes to get it hanging. To build the whole thing, you can do it by yourself. To get the grid wall hanging by those chains, you're going to need some help. I'm pretty strong, but I'm not that strong. So this whole setup now is back in my closet where initially started, but now I get to lay down and do my red light therapy. And best of all, I was able to add a 300 panel at the feet because I was having terrible plantar fasciitis pain. And lately, it's just kind of been back again. I just wanted to see if red light therapy would help, and it made such a big difference. That was really when I started thinking, I need to go do this laying down and do it at the same time. Because I do my red light therapy for 20 minutes every day. 10 minutes facing the panel and 10 minutes with my back to the panel. And I didn't feel like adding another 20 minutes just to do my feet. I bought my Mito Red Light panels in 2022. There's a newer version out now. Mine are the Mito Red Pro Series, and I think the newer ones are Pro Plus, and they have remotes. It's not difficult to reach out and turn it on. It's a piece of cake, and I can do it without even looking now. But that would be nice to have that little remote, and maybe someday I'll upgrade. But it was quite an investment to buy all 5, 6, 7 of these panels. I mean, the 5 main ones, and then the little overhead, and then adding the additional 300 to my feet. Okay, so let's talk about what I had to do different. So if you are doing this setup, you can follow the super detailed information in the 2 prior videos. You'll want to watch the mobile stand version. The main difference is that you're going to use heavier straps on the back. For the mobile stand, the weight of the panels were sitting on grid wall hooks. You will need to use steel straps instead of the straps that I show you in the mobile stand video. I had 4 straps on the back, and now I changed that to 8. I'll put a link below to the right straps. The center 300 panel at the top, I just had 1 clamp at the back to hold that in place, and it had the 2 hooks that it set on, so the weight was being supported by those hooks, and now I added a second clamp on the back since it was now being supported by the clamp and not the hooks. And the only other thing you need to do is to have your super struts mounted into your ceiling joists, and then you need some heavy-duty chain and these kind of hooks. But like I said, all those hooks are still there. I didn't take them off because all I did was flip it over and attach the chains. Since I'm coming up on 3 years of red light therapy, I'm going to need to do a video then. I have some interesting facts that I haven't seen anywhere else, and one that's maybe the only downside to red light therapy, and I don't even know if you can call it a downside. It hasn't been for me, but I could see that for some people it might be. Anyway, everything has been so great, and I'm super excited to go into detail about all of that. I get a lot of the same questions asking me to detail about my sessions, especially in the cancer videos. So if you have a question from any of the red light videos, you can put in the comments any questions that you might have, and I will either be answering those in my 3-year review video, or I might have to make it its own video and do a red light Q&A. So both of those videos are coming up. I started in February of 2022, but I will probably be doing that video in January. Okay, red light friends, bye for now. In light and love, Lala.